Gavel was to order. The first item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Seeing none, the agenda is approved. The next item is the approval of the September 25th Management Committee minutes. Are there any amendments, comments?
Move approval.
Second. Oh, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes are approved. First up on our non-consent business agenda is 2024-301, Joint Powers Agreement with the State of Texas Department of Information Resources.
Good afternoon, Chair and committee members. My name is Jody Jacoby, and I'm the Chief Procurement Officer in the Procurement Department. And with me is Robert Carey, and he's the Acting Director in Procurement. And we're here today, and we have a PowerPoint to talk through two of the business items that we're requesting your approval for joint powers cooperative agreements. And we'll just start with a little bit of background. So what is a cooperative procurement? A cooperative procurement is a tool that we're able to use that has been competitively solicited. It's allowable under the Uniform Municipal Contracting Law. We're currently using a few cooperatives, including the state of Minnesota. Their Office of State Procurement has a number of procurements definitely facilitated for state agencies, but there are also procurements that are facilitated to allow municipalities like the council and counties and cities to utilize, and those are specifically authorized in each solicitation. Additionally, we use Sourcewell. They were founded by the Department of Education, and they're actually located in Minnesota. Another cooperative that we use is the Washington Enterprise Services, and you may remember that we brought forward a joint powers agreement probably about 18 months ago or so that allows the council to procure or at least consider procurements off of that cooperative. And that cooperative is very specific and unique. It has a lot of buses and rolling stock on it and charging equipment. And it's been a fantastic tool, and it's also federally compliant. And so today we're bringing forward for your request two additional cooperatives. And as the statutory authority outlines, and it's up on the PowerPoint, any cooperative that's created by a joint powers agreement or purchases more than one source, we need approval to use. A little bit of more information on what is a cooperative procurement venture. It's where there is sharing procurement contracts between two or more governments purchasing under the same contract. A cooperative is formed when there's a consortium of governments who identify a common requirement that's suitable for cooperative purchasing. And then, as we're doing here, we would sign an agreement to share powers, also known as a joint powers agreement. And as the council's book of business and procurements increase, and you certainly are aware of that as well with many business items asking for your signature authority authorization, procurement's workload increases as well. And the procurements are becoming more complex. So the use of cooperatives is really a tool for procurement and the business units to look at when we're setting procurement action plans to identify if a existing cooperative that we have the ability to use might be a resource for us. And the use of cooperative contracts are becoming more prevalent, not only here at the council, but definitely nationally with other public procurement agencies at the federal, state, and local level. And again, it's just a tool that we can utilize to get our contracts in place quicker. So some of the considerations or the due diligence that we look at not only, or we would look at not only for these two cooperatives, but does it conform with state or local law? For each cooperative contract, we actually request the documents from that entity that facilitated them and review the specifications of that original procurement. Definitely the pricing and the terms and conditions, because it's unique with each and every procurement. We verify the application and eligibility. We also now have the ability to compare multiple cooperative procurements against each other. And we have the ability as well to negotiate when we have large quantities. Some of the benefits with using cooperative contracts is it saves a lot of time. On average, our timeline for a request for proposal from when the initiation document, we call it the contract initiation document, is approved to execution, is about 180 days. So this allows us to be able to negotiate and go right to contract award. So it's an opportunity to save a significant amount of administrative time. We've recognized with our experience with cooperatives, because we're leveraging buying power with multiple other jurisdictions, that it reduces costs. And when we have experienced issues with quality and service, it allows us as well to leverage a really strong voice with the vendors. Because it's not only our specific work with the Met Council, they're leveraging their reputation and a risk with many other public entities. It gives us the opportunity to connect with top suppliers in the market, and we absolutely believe that it offers a high level of value and quality to our customers to be able to deliver quickly and efficiently. And some of the cost savings for cooperatives that has been calculated by the National Cooperative Procurement Partners Association indicates that the average cost for an agency to solicit and contract for categories of project types, for a non-complex procurement, it's just under $1,700. In a non-complex procurement, I would associate with like a goods procurement. In a more complex procurement, a cooperative can save up to $17,500. And again, this is just an average, but it's an opportunity for us to leverage an existing contract in place and not only get great price, but have a significant amount of administration and cost savings. A little bit of information specifically on this Texas cooperative, and then I'm going to turn it over to Rob to talk a little bit further. But this specific Texas cooperatives offer an efficient delivery of products and services, again with negotiated terms and condition, a best value through competition with multiple contractors, a fair and equitable competitive contracting opportunities for suppliers, and then maintaining public confidence through ethical and transparent procurement practices with compliance with state laws. And using a cooperative procurement venture satisfies the procurement process. But I'm going to turn it over to Rob to talk about targeted businesses and the impact as such of using cooperatives like these two.
Thank you, Jody. So you may ask yourself, why the state of Texas? And procurement looks and evaluates cooperatives across the nation, and specifically these two Texas cooperatives offer and align with some of the council's mission and values that we're looking to establish as we procure these goods and services. So the first one is the Department of Information Resources. This is a very heavy technology-related cooperative, and it offers the ability for us to consider options for enterprise resource planning systems. This would align with some of our pillars for our strategic plan within RA to modernize some of our operating systems and to create efficient and streamlined processes for our businesses. The other cooperative that you're going to see here for North Central Texas Council of Governments is a regional planning association. And so they specialize in transportation planning, environmental planning, very similar and like-minded solutions that are integrated into their contracts of the council. And another aspect that we take into consideration is the ability to reduce barriers to those small and underutilized businesses. And Texas specifically has a program that's very similar to the council's MCUB program, and it's called HUB. It's historically underutilized businesses, and all of their procurements incorporate the HUB program requirements that look at and consider aspects of contracting and subcontracting opportunities, and allowing and ensuring that vendors that are minority, women, and service-disabled veterans are brought into consideration for those areas of service in which the contracts that they solicit have those opportunities. Just a couple of highlights about that State of Texas Hub program. They completed a disparity study, and their disparity study found that they have goals set for 11% in highway construction, 21% in general construction, 32% in special trade construction, 24% for professional services, and 26% in other services or commodity-based contracts. So these are high goals, but achievable goals, and they're built in and implemented into the cooperative purchasing solicitations.
Thanks, Mr. Chair. I'll just note Mr. Carey just answered my question, and I'm impressed with those goals. Yeah, they're very high, higher than ours in some.
Most of them.
So the proposed action in front of you is that the Metropolitan Council authorize the regional administrator to negotiate and execute joint power cooperative agreements 24I-060 and 24I-061 with the state of Texas to allow the council to utilize their contracts for cooperative purchasing of goods and services.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments from the presenters?
Just one.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just got one question to my mind. With the small businesses that we have in MCAP, do they have opportunity also doing business with the taxes authorities in this particular program?
Mr. Chair and committee member, the MCUB program is specific to companies that are based out of Minnesota, and so it wouldn't be a restriction for one of those companies to be involved with this state program, but they wouldn't be part of their HUB program, so it wouldn't be recognized within their HUB program.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? I just have a comment, which is these are great cooperatives, and it just makes me wonder why we don't do more businesses with cooperatives to save on money. But anyway, so we have, can we get a motion to approval? Okay, motion's been made, can we get a second? Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion passes. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I may, because we're moving into another cooperative. So see, these are fairly recent, right? I mean, we just entered into this cooperative space since we've been agriculture. So it's good to see that we are doing more. I agree with you, Mr. Chair.
Chair and Councilmember Willigrant, it really is a it's helping us be more agile
Mhm.
and efficient and really provide this service quality and still consider a lot of the necessary components of equity and sustainability that is very important to all of us with the outcomes. But this is definitely a transformational way that we're proceeding in procurement.
Great, good work, thank you.
Joey, you guys don't have a second presentation?
So it's-
Okay, so just to be clear, I believe we just voted on the first item, and we have to do a separate motion to vote on the second item. Because there's technically two different joint powers agreements. So, because they're both lumped into a single presentation. So we passed the item number 1. So if I could get a motion to pass item number 2, 2024-302.
So moved.
Second, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye,
Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you, Joey. Thank you, Rob.
thank you.
Our next item is 2024-241, same week, labor agreement with the Transit Managers and Supervisors Association.
Good afternoon, Chair and committee members. My name is Joy Harkins. I am currently the interim senior manager for labor relations here with the council's HR department. I'm here to present the tentative agreement with Transit Managers and Supervisors Association, otherwise known as TMSA. The contract expired on December 31st, 2023. TMSA represents 334 managers and supervisors working across all divisions of Metro Transit. Following the recommendation from the TMSA Executive Board, the membership ratified the agreement on October 15th, 2024. Highlights of the agreement include a 3-year contract effective January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2026. A compensation package that includes a 5.5% general wage increase in year 1, a 4.5% general wage increase in the second year, and a 3% general wage increase in year 3. Employees also have the opportunity to earn a 2.5% performance pay adjustment for each year of the contract. The wages and benefits negotiated in this agreement are consistent with the agreements in place with the council's other labor unions. The cost of the labor agreement was reviewed by finance and was negotiated within the economic parameters established by the council. Chair and committee members, the action requested today is the approval to authorize the regional administrator to enter into a labor agreement with the Transit Managers and Supervisors Association effective January 1, 2024 through December 31st, 2026.
Thank you, Joe. Are there any questions or comments for Joe? All right, seeing none, can I get a motion to move the items?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the motion passes. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you very much.
Sure, so Mr. Chair, the next items are discussion of attorney-client privilege. So I move that this meeting be closed to the public pursuant to Minnesota statutes, section 13D.05, subdivision 3B, and applicable case law, so the committee can discuss with our legal counsel in a confidential setting, attorney-client privilege matters.
Thank you. Can we get a second?
Second.
Thank you. A public body, by majority vote at a public meeting may decide to hold a closed meeting under section 13D.05, subdivision 3B of Minnesota Open Meeting Law to discuss attorney-client privilege matters. Discussing these litigation matters in a confidential setting may permit the council to engage in candid discussion and resolve these matters in a way that benefits the council and the public. The discussions during the closed portion of this meeting to discuss attorney-client matters will be confined to the pending litigation matters listed in the committee agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Alright, before we close the meeting to discuss pending litigation, I'd like to inform members of the public who are monitoring this meeting and for the record that the committee will adjourn immediately after the discussion of this information item and that the committee will not have any discussions or conduct any business after this information item is complete. For the record, please note that this meeting was closed to the public at 2:50 p.m. on October 23rd, 2024.